What is going on, everybody? And in this video, we're providing you a state of the market and stock picks for May 10th, 2023. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing as we do provide daily and weekly updates to get you prepared for the day and the week ahead in this glorious market. So as you can see, the market itself has been extremely flat. We're in the middle of a banking crisis. We're getting a lot of recession data. No one wants to put risk on, and it is in May. We are after some big earnings. We've had a little bit of digestion. Now the market is just waiting for the next piece of news, but the market also does not want to put any risk on considering the current situation that we are in. So that being said, we do have core inflation tomorrow. Last time it came in at 5. They're actually expecting 5, potentially even forecasting a 4.9. So they're expecting inflation to just sit flat coming in tomorrow, which is interesting in why they potentially went with another 25-point basis move. Now, what's really going to matter is how we are based off of that inflation rate tomorrow. If the headline inflation, if we bump back up, that could be very, very concerning. If we come even lower than 5, then that would be great. The market would be ecstatic about that, to be honest. But we'll have to see. Like I said, something that people are really kind of basing off of is just what are the headline news. The Fed are continuing to increase rates. That hasn't stopped. We've been over 5 for over a year, 5% inflation for over a year. It's taken us this long to get down to where we're at. How much longer is it going to take us to get down? And we've talked about getting to some sticky parts with inflation, and it might be harder to get down to 2%. If that's the case, is that going to stop the Fed? And so right now the market is very undecided. It wants to know what happens tomorrow. Now we do have core PPI again on Thursday, but core is going to matter more as we want to kind of see where the Fed's going to go from there, because it's going to kind of forecast what the next monetary policy move is. On how much more pressure could be essentially added to the bonds and added to home loans, considering that the stress of a potential another 25-point basis move could be on deck. And hopefully we still stay around 5 and we don't shoot back up, because that would again draw a lot of panic. So tomorrow is going to be a big day in that aspect. It's going to be out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, so that'll be pre-markets, and then we should get some movement out of that. And then again, from that point, again, depending on where we hit on expectation, will really matter moving forward. And then the next thing we'll be watching is for the FOMC meeting notes. Again, looking for more aspects of recessionary talk in there from the Fed. And then ultimately just waiting for news. Right? Like something I've said up to this point is that we're really just waiting for more headline news. We know banks are breaking. We know there's a lot of shuffling going behind and very eerily quiet. And then you find out more banks are failing is the problem in this. And we're finding out the past couple days too that credit crunch is even getting worse. That banks are withdrawing a lot of credits, and then you have Yellen saying that we got till June 1st to try to hit debt ceiling. We need some sort of information there, which tomorrow we'll actually have that as well. Biden is supposed to be meeting, I believe, with Yellen to try to figure out. Biden is supposed to be meeting with Yellen to try to figure out what's going on with the debt ceiling as well. So big day tomorrow on deck. A lot of information that's going to be gushing out. If everything lines up, it could be a really bad day. It could be a potential positive day. Again, I think positivity. There's too many breaks to try to think we're just going to go back to all-time high, because even if we start pushing up, you still have the debt. If we do reach some sort of debt discussion tomorrow or agreement, which I don't think is going to happen. Nonetheless, you're only going to push up so much because you still have too much stuff on deck, especially with the interest rates being high and the banks being a big concern. So with all that being said, I know it's very frustrating, but this is the market that we're currently in. So we'll go over the technicals, as there's not really much to go over until we hear something new. So again, today flat, still watching 4,200 and still watching that 40.50 tomorrow. And then you have Bitcoin, which is continue to kind of hold that lower range around that 27K mark. Breaks that, we could be headed back down to the 23K mark. But that 31 has definitely been a pretty solid wall to this point, and Bitcoin is looking very much like the general index. So we're going to have to see again tomorrow. Should hopefully provide us a little bit more navigation on what could potentially happen. Tesla did recover a little bit today, back to the 168. But again, you start looking at some higher time frames, it just looks like a retest for potentially more lower low. So we'll see what happens with Tesla tomorrow. The support's really sitting here at the 162, and you want to try to break that new high at the 174. So we'll see what happens with Tesla. Palantir obviously did very well overnight and had one big pop. Again, AI and everything else going on with Palantir. People are very excited about it. We'll see if this does hold. The top here, though, is sitting roughly around that 10 mark, so it could push up a little bit more. It attempted to try to break 10, but got rejected. So we'll see if tomorrow's the day where it breaks out. Otherwise, this thing could head back down to the 722. So levels to watch for tomorrow, especially if we get some news, could really start moving some of these better. BA still hasn't moved to 20 as what we're watching. And again, the 195 there. And then you have JPM, again, still watching to fill that gap. It is currently holding roughly around that 136. See if you can fill the gap down to 126 or try to break the ceiling at the 143 there. But that's pretty much it. I'm not making this video very long because there is not really a lot to discuss. Tomorrow will be a bigger day. We'll get more information to help guide us, and then hopefully we start getting some movement there. So with that being said, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.